Hello everyone, and welcome to the Virgo Super Full Moon. The Virgo Super Full Moon is happening on the 9th of March. And how is everybody doing? I mean, Mercury retrograde and everything, all the emotions, deep emotions. Huh? I found Mercury retrograde to be very, very emotionally deep in Pisces. It was like really cleansing, like to get deep into your feelings. And everyone's asked to get deep into their feelings about every single thing, about their work, their finance, where they are, where they want to be, how they want to grow, what you want to feel going forward. I mean, Pisces is the end season. So the sun is in Pisces and the full moon is in Virgo. Okay, so with the sun being in Pisces, it's the end season. So that's the last zodiac, the 12th zodiac. It's where we look back, way back, at everything that's happened within the year and before, and we like letting go, healing. And part of that is actually feeling it. So feeling it within yourself, feeling it like, how does this make me feel? What do I need to end? What do I need to let go of? And making peace with that. And even sometimes when you're making peace, or some of us will, certain things in our lives we can make peace with a lot easier and like be like, oh, okay. And there's some things that when we have to let go of, you can feel it. Like it's like a hard thing. It's like a push and a pull and a push and a pull. And you know it's not good for you, but you pushing and pulling with this thing and toying with it. So then we have a lot more healing to do, a lot more releasing to do, a lot more clearing to do as we look at our energy centers within us. So as the planets move and the moon becomes full, all our chakras and everything becomes active. It becomes awake. It becomes clear. And we feel things within ourselves that we need to purge. And that's what these planetary shifts do. They give us opportunities to embrace challenges and empower ourselves and welcome new opportunities. So I know that Mercury retrograde in Pisces has been a ride, and it's been emotional, and it's taken you way back into things of the past, and when you first did this and how you first did that, and you had to cleanse and go deep and look at your heart and how did you get yourself in this situation, why are you having this conflict with this person. Why is this person coming back? Yes, it brings back people from the past, exes, friends, relationships, situations, scenarios. And you're looking at it and thinking, how did I get here? Why am I standing here? And you have to go back. And we have to all go back in order to move forward. Because we have to see what we did before and what we want to do now in order to make a change, to progress. Because there's something that Mercury always does when it retrogrades. It takes us back to show us where we didn't quite, deal with it. We didn't quite release it. We didn't quite face it. Now you got to face it. Now you got to heal it. Now you got to embrace it and really move forward. So that's the whole purpose of Mercury retrograde, is taking us back and forth. And then Mercury is going to go direct on the 10th of March. And so Pisces is the season for us to also look back, the year back, see where we've come, what we've accomplished, what do we need to work on, what did you start last year, where are you now, where are you with your healing journey, are you improving, are you changing, shifting, molding, becoming something different since the year has passed. And that's what Pisces is giving us. And now we're in this super moon, Virgo. Now Virgo rules the 6th house. It's also ruled by Mercury. So that's Virgo, ruled the 6th house, Mercury. And Virgo is the sign of Earth. It's an Earth sign. It's an Earth sign and helps us really look into ourselves. And I think that's the beautiful thing. When we come to a phase, every year we go through this, it's Pisces season, it's time to close certain doors, walk away from certain things, move on. And the Virgo full moon gives us the ability to completely analyze it, really cut it down, really become very critical. You must know, when it comes to Virgo, this is how it is. They rule health. So all your health concerns, right? They plan, they organize, they get things done, right? And they give of service. They also enable to do this. By doing this, they have the ability to analyze everything to a fault. A lot of people will find Virgos very critical and like to be perfectionists. They want things done a specific way. But this ability now, and we all have Virgo somewhere in our chart. You don't have to be a Virgo. This is the energy affecting us all now, where we have the ability to become very analytical of our lives, where we're going, what we want, how we're moving in our relationships, what are we giving too much of our energy, what is not organized, what is a disarray, what is a mad mess. Is it that love life that's a mad mess? Are you going back and forth, back and forth? Are you over contemplating over that ex? What are you doing? Because you must remember, Mercury retrograde is still happening. It's going to come to an end on the 10th of March, but we're still thinking of the past, the exes, the love affairs, everything, the financial situations we got ourselves into, the place we didn't want to be. All of those things are coming to a close and an end, and we're trying to let go. And Virgo comes along now and says, now you got to be analytical of this in order for you to analyze properly, and you have to basically plan ahead. So you're planning, and you got to make these movements. You got to be critical. You got to use your judgment, because that's what Virgo does. It uses its judgment. It wants to be the best. That's Virgo energy. Be the best. Strive for success. Strive for excellence. Shine bright. Use all the energy you have. Every single part of yourself. That's what Virgo does. That's why a lot of Virgos become healers. That's why it's such a good time to embark on healing courses and healing journeys, because that Virgo energy pushes us to want to go within and really see how we can be of service. Mother Teresa was a Virgo. That's when I mean Virgo energy is to be of service. They can do and do for others to such an extent. It's unreal. So that's that Mother Teresa energy, because she was a Virgo. So if you think of Virgo, you're thinking of being of service, of giving and just being the best and trying to be all these things, and criticizing. Yes, criticizing, judging yourself and how you are, where you can actually grow and become more, and actually become a little bit very, very anxious. I wouldn't even say a little bit very, very anxious, because that makes no sense. You become completely anxious and worried about how you're going to move forward. What are you going to do? How are you going to be? And this is where the opposite of Virgo comes in, Pisces energy, and tells you to go with the flow. Yes, make the plan. Yes, look, analyze, but don't become so harsh on yourself that you lack love. Remember, Pisces is exalted in Venus, so it's saying, don't do that to yourself. And Virgo, ruled by Mercury, exalted by Mercury, is telling you, look at all the information. How do you express it? How do you get, organize it? How do we, work as an earth sign does? And, get everything the way it should be. And Pisces energy comes along and says, go with the flow. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself that moment to get into your emotions and feel what you're feeling. And that's why out of all the earth signs, Virgo gets really deep in their emotions. I mean, they can really feel deep, and sometimes it's hard for them to get out of those feelings, because those feelings are so heavy. So depression, anxiety, paranoia, where you feel like you're in hypochondriac, where you're worrying about different sicknesses and health, because Virgo rules health. It rules mental, physical, emotional health. That's what it does. Spiritual health. Everything to do with how you think, what you create with your thoughts, manifestation, that kind of health. What you say to yourself, that kind of health. How you feel about yourself, that kind of health. What you put into your body. Are you exercising? Are you drinking water? Are you taking care of yourself? It's why around the Virgo full moon, a lot of people tend to fall ill and get sick, because it rules health. It's the healer. After everything that's being experienced and all the emotions that are stirred, and the pain and the hurt and the letting go and the cleansing of ourselves, Virgo comes in and puts all of that we feel in Pisces into action, and says, okay, now we felt all the feelings. What do we got to do? How do we plan to move forward? And Pisces comes and says, okay, you have a plan. Let's not become too harsh. Let's make this plan work. Let's go with the flow with it. Let it flow a little. Let us be gentle instead of too critical of ourselves. So enjoy this super full moon in Virgo. Know that this is the first super full moon. So there's going to be one now, April, and then again in May. Super moons means that the moon is closest to the earth, so the energy of the full moon is more intense. So we feel and experience it a lot deeper, a lot stronger, a lot in our hearts, a lot in every part of us that wants to change and evolve. And that's what super moons are there to do. They push us even harder to change, to evolve, to grow, to heal, to learn, to let go, to embrace, to move forward. All of that energy. And it's been quite an interesting year after the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened in January, because a lot of structures, a lot of relationships, a lot of contracts were cut, a lot of love and relationships and people being in relationships just came to an end, and people needing healing and going off to basically get it mentally, physically, spiritually in a hospital, or rehabilitating themselves in a way to come forward. So all those structures was happening in January, and now we're here in March. And we have to now cleanse all of those experiences we experienced through the Pisces energy and the Virgo energy coming in to say, okay, now we're cleansing it, we're feeling it. What are we going to do? How do we treat this person? How do we set boundaries? Remember that the sign and zodiac of giving of service. Now, giving of service is a beautiful thing, but we can't neglect ourselves. And that's what happens. A lot of times the Virgo zodiac neglects themselves. They're just making everyone feel great, doing everything, where you'll ask a Virgo, should I do it? They'll be like, no, let me do it. I'll just do it for you. And they continue on doing. Till next thing they neglected themselves and no one's done anything for them. They feel very unsupported. So now's the time where we're looking at our support structures. Are we getting the support that we've been basically giving out? We are giving the service. We are there. I'm here to love you, hold you. I'm here at work. I'm doing the paperwork. I'm organizing the finance. Who's here for me? And that's what this full moon's asking you to ask. Who's there for you? And the only way to get or connect to or attract people to be there for you and to get a solid support system is when you actually say no. So a lot of it will be about saying no and setting healthy boundaries and being no to certain people and just being like, I can't. And when you start developing and actually doing that and implementing it and saying no, you can actually attract people who are there for you, because you will start not just attracting people who take from you. And that's also a lesson on the Virgo energy. They're beautiful healers. They give off service, the Mother Teresa kind of energy. But that can leave you drained mentally, emotionally, and physically. And next thing, you're laying in bed with the flu and a head cold and everything. Your physical body becomes ill when you have to acknowledge how much you've actually been doing. Because you think you haven't been doing a lot, but you have been. So your body becomes ill to stop you in your tracks and say, take a minute, take a break, rest. And now give less and give more to you. So you have a lot more energy for you. And that's the Virgo full moon. It highlights health on every aspect. It teaches us to organize ourselves, to make plans, and so we can implement them for ourselves going forward into the future. And thank you for watching this video.